Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Master Coach Aaron Guyett and living.Fit's Education Director, and we're doing the movement breakdown of the week. So the challenge for this week, if you're catching this live, right, the challenge for this week was doing these seated arcs, and then all the while you're kind of inching cheek to cheek forward, right? So I'm lifting up one cheek, kind of rolling forward with my arc movement. So as I'm way back here, nice and easy, then as I inch forward, it gets harder and harder and harder to be able to produce arcs that go all the way down to the anchor. So that would be the first part of any sort of seated movement breakdown, is it's going to be harder, right? And the reason why it's going to be harder is normally we're in this standing position. So in the standing position, if I'm doing any sort of movement, arcs, waves, vertical slams, in and out, circles, I can use my lower body, even if I'm just using a little bit of it, right? This axial femoral rotation here in that leg, right? Or my hip rotation or my T-spine rotation. So hips and down, I'm able to generate a lot of rotational and frontal plane or lateral force, rotational force, transverse force, as well my extension and my flexion, right? So extension and flexion in the hips, knees, ankle, or otherwise known as triple extension, right? As I jump up to max vert or create power to do a clean, kettlebell clean or whatever. So if I'm looking to truly, instead of having this be a quote unquote upper body finisher or cardio tool, right? That is a way that we can use the battle rope, but if I truly want to train upper body and be able to decide with my programming whether I train power or strength or endurance, then I can get my lower body completely out of the equation. And so why would I do that? Well, one, it's going to build vertical core integration, vertical core strength. So I'm going to have dependent strength in this platform, right, that is my torso, by telling my lower body, hey, I don't need you to work right now. I just need all the engagement, all of the foundation of my power output to come from my vertical core. And when I say vertical core, I mean neck, shoulders, down through pelvic floor, right, or hips. And so think about it. Just here, my erectors are turned on, my rectus abdominis, right, the six pack of my abs, the muscles that align my spine, they're all turned on to keep me vertically integrated and vertically here. Otherwise, I'm going to slump down, right, and round my back out. So in order to not round my back out, I've got to engage on the front side and on the back side, right? Then when I start producing some sort of movement, it's going to work internal, external obliques. It's going to work transverse abdominis, right? So the muscles here on the side, the muscles that go across the abdominal section here, my pecs, my traps, my lats, all my interscapular muscles, my shoulders even, right? They're going to fire up even more from this seated position as well. So if I do, let's say, alternating waves, right? In and out waves, circular waves, smiles, rainbows, right? Where the rainbows, if you're doing Russian twist, battle rope Russian twist, rainbows, seated rainbows, right? Those, I'm going to have more grip, more bicep, more tricep, and more shoulder engagement from the seated position, because now I'm not producing any force from my quads, hamstring, glutes, calves, right? Any of that triple extension, any of that axial femoral rotation that's happening down in the body to produce up and out of my torso and arms. So that is a huge, huge benefit. Vertical core integration, making this platform stronger. Hey, remember, we don't shoot cannons from canoes, right? We shoot them from big, like men-of-war ships, or we shoot them from the ground, right? And why is that? Well, think about it, right? If you shoot a cannon from a canoe, boom, that cannon is the ball's gonna stay right there, the cannon's gonna loop into the water, and so we need strong, stable platforms, and part of our platform is our vertical core. Yes, it's our legs as well, but it's also our vertical core. So if I'm losing it in the T-spine, if I'm losing it in the shoulder, this will help me engage those muscles, engage in a way to get that integrity back so that I can produce more power, right? And then if I want to produce more power, I just need to inch forward, right? I have to produce far more power in any of my movements if I inch forward. If I inch forward again, I'm gonna double the power. If I inch forward again, obviously you get the picture. I'm gonna probably hit only in about a foot space. I'm probably gonna hit a point where I can't make my waves reach the end. And that's how we know, hey, we're training true max power for hips up, or I can come back a little bit and do this for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute, right? And hit my lactic threshold, hit that failure point, and know that I'm training hypertrophy or pure strength, max strength, or even strength endurance, right? Just depending on how I program it. And then if I want to go even further back, make it a little bit easier, but still want to train that vertical core integration, right? This I'll be able to hold for a lot longer periods of time. What we don't want to do is just have massive static engagement here, because then that mitigates my ability to even move. I can't even hardly get the weight to go over my toes, right? So I don't want to have too much tension between myself and the anchor. I want to be able to articulate whatever sort of movement pattern or muscle I'm trying to engage in my movement. So that's the movement breakdown of this week. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see a lot more movement breakdowns, and hey, check it out. If you do the challenge this week and you enter, you're going to get free access, instant free access to our movement breakdowns, right? The growing library of these, as well as follow along workouts, a growing library of those, exercise demos, a growing library of those. We'll give you weekly workouts as well with the battle rope, so you can take this underutilized tool and start to utilize it to its fullest capacity for your training, for your coaching, for your teaching, and for your own development, whether it's losing fat, building muscle, getting stronger, you name it, we've got it. All right, enjoy and make your next one your best one.